Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren and welcome to Plants and Things. Today we are going to be talking about growing plants without soil. And it's not a new thing, but it is very, very popular. And it's becoming popular for good reasons because it's pretty easy to do. It can take care of some issues that we may have with soil. So if that's something you're interested in, keep on watching. So the two main umbrellas of growing plants without soil are going to be hydroponics, or growing plants hydroponically, or semi or passive hydroponics. And hydroponically meaning water can grow plants, mature plants, strictly in water. And that's not for every plant. Not all plants will thrive. They may survive, but they may not thrive in all water. And that's just based on their natural habitat. If they were not a plant that maybe naturally grows by water, a bog, what's the other type of, a marsh, something like that, it's probably not going to thrive in water if it's not already that type of plant naturally. So some examples are like peace lilies or bamboo plants, pothos, because they just grow anywhere, anyhow. They are survivors, true survivors. Pothos are good. So those type of plants, definitely you can grow to maturity in water. And what I really want, I don't have any plants that I'm growing to maturity in water, but I do have some plants in water that I start off as propagations. But I would really love to have a peace lily, a domino peace lily, or a Picasso peace lily. And you can get really pretty and creative with hydroponics. You can get a nice vase, put some beautiful rocks at the bottom, design it a little bit, and really make it pretty if you want to grow something hydroponically. You just may need to do the research to figure out which plant is going to be best to choose. And then there's other things like maintenance, like with anything, changing the water out, watching the pH of the water. You have to add nutrients to the water. So it takes a little more research, but it is still pretty easy, like a set it and forget it thing. Once you set it up, you're good to go. So on the other side of things, there is the semi or passive hydroponics. And that's what I'm going to be delving into. I looked extensively into both sides and I chose to go with semi hydroponics. And as I go along, of course, I will explain why. So in the semi or passive hydroponics world, the two main popular options are Leca and Pond. There's the brand name, the Choose a Pond, and then there's tons of pond alternatives where you can make your own pond. There are sellers that sell pond-like substrates. You have plenty of options when it comes to ponds. Some people even just grow their plants in pumice. I've received the plant in straight pumice, and the plant was growing just fine. So it's all about the science of how certain substrates have capillary action that can soak up water and make it available to the roots of the plant. So you can get really, creative with your substrates of what you want to grow your plants. And the only one I'm not sold on for like growing plants to maturity in is perlite. And correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. I just don't really see, at least I don't see people growing plants, mature plants in perlite. That's like when you're trying to root something, it's just, to me, perlite is not heavy enough. It doesn't have enough weight for you to be able to stabilize a mature plant in a pot. But tell me in the comments below if I'm wrong. If you yourself are growing mature plants in perlite, I would for sure like to hear about that. So the reason I chose Pond over Leca was because Pond has less maintenance. If you haven't noticed already, I like things to be simple, okay? I still want it to be effective, but I really would like it to be simple. I work full time. I take care of my two dogs as if they're children. They act like they're children. They are my children. But the point is that I don't like to spend a whole lot of time. I just like to enjoy my plants. So I like to choose the most simple to the point option, but I still want it to be effective. So that's why I went with Pond. Leca is great for semi-hydroponics. However, there are some things like you have to prep the Leca, you have to flush the Leca, you need to look at the pH of the water when you're using Leca. So there's just a few things, a few more variables, and with Leca that I'm not willing to get into at this time. And Pond just has a little less variables, there's a little less thinking involved. So that's why I chose Pond. On the downside with Pond, it is more expensive than Leca and it's not as readily accessible as Leca. I bought my Pond on Amazon. I got I did get the name brand Lechuza Pond that comes with their, I didn't order it, but you can get it with their self-watering planters and all of that. But I just ordered it because it was my first time using Pond, potting my own plants in Pond. I have some that I received in Pond, and I will not be purchasing that again in the future. Number one, it's expensive. Number two, even on Amazon, it's hard to come by. So I found a seller, which I will link in the description below, that he was really nice, really helpful. He gave really good information on his Etsy description and good teaching you what the parts of Pond are, really good information. And I messaged him asking him questions. He was so nice. He was willing to answer any questions. He was giving me even more information. So I was like, I'm definitely gonna buy my Pond from him when I'm ready to purchase them. Another reason I chose Pond is because some of the plants I'm gonna be potting today are just cuttings, and you can propagate cuttings in Leca. I just feel a little more comfortable and confident in Pond because the particles are smaller, and so I feel like it's more conducive to baby plants, small roots, thin roots. So I have 4 plants today that I'm going to be potting up into Pond, and so I'm gonna just get started and talk about them as we go so that this video isn't really long. All right, so I did my boat lily already, and some lessons were learned. Some lessons were definitely learned, okay? Here she is, just kind of cascading forward. I'm sure you can hear the water trickling out. Oh, I just broke this leaf. Oh my God. Okay, wow. I'm a leaf killer. Anyways, I have the 3 plants in here. I wanted it more to the center, but it ended up being to the front. It's okay. And what I did was, instead of just pouring the water in the reservoir, I watered it through the top to wet the substrate, so that, because this plant was used to sitting in water, so I didn't want to just sit the roots in dry substrate. So that's why I did it that way, and it's looking good. I really am happy with it. I think it looks so beautiful, so beautiful. And because of that, I decided I wasn't going to rinse my Pond or anything, but I decided to rinse it because I saw how dusty, how kind of murky the water was getting when I poured it through. So I decided to just rinse this, and it'll be good anyways because the plants came from water. So I'll show you what else we are potting up as well. Some crotons here. I took these from my mom. She had a croton plant back in the summer-ish time, and oh, there's one missing, this little stick. It never got roots, but it does have this little tiny baby leaf, so I'm gonna still put it in there and see what happens. You never ever know. So I got these little plastic pots from Amazon and these little mesh pads, and it just came with a big pack like this of different sizes. And I'm gonna use this size, and I'm gonna take my Pond that is already moist. Where's my little shovel? There she is. And do it like that. And I'm gonna just set it in liquid dirt water in this cash pot here. I didn't plan on buying the Lechuza Pond self-watering planters or self-watering planters in general because that costs money, and this is free 99. I already had this. I don't really like this pot, but it'll get the job done for the time being, so that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, I just wanted to talk to you guys because I have some ideas on things that I don't know if it's actually interesting, if people are actually interested in watching it, but one of them was doing a favorites video, like a monthly favorites / update, like what's going on with certain plants and things that I may have talked about earlier in the month. And then another thing I wanted to do was kind of like a little experimentation. I'm really interested because I watch a lot of other planty YouTubers like Houseplanty Goodness. I've mentioned him before, and Hakuna No Plants. I don't know if I've mentioned him before, but when you see somebody that has something or that is something that you want to be or have, you want to know how they did it. And they have such large, oh, this isn't working. Okay, I gotta not do it like that. They have such large leafed plants. Like their plants are ginormous. Their leaves on their plants are ginormous. So of course I want to know like what fertilizer they're using, and one of them is liquid gold leaf, which unfortunately we do not have access to in the US. I've tried and looked and scoured the internet and I could not get it. I couldn't find it. So the other one is of course the microflora, I think it's called by General Hydroponics, I believe. And that's on Amazon, readily available. But there's multiple steps, and you know I like simplicity, so that's why I haven't tried it. But I think I'm gonna have to just break down and try it because I really like large leafed plants. Like that's my thing. Large leaf plants are my thing, and I might just have to do it. But the point is, I'd like to do an experiment, and I'd like to get like some baby syngonium, something that grows easy, and have a couple that, you know, one is grown with different types of fertilizer that I'd be testing out to see, you know, how does it actually work, you know, like which ones actually work better. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. But let's look at this croton. She's so cute. I would like it to be a little more closer together, but this is so cute. I love this. I like the look of pond too because it's pretty to me, like with the different colors and everything. I really like this. So that is the croton, and what I'm gonna do is the same thing, pour the water in through the top, but not too much. It's already wet anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but you know, just for good measure. So that's the only thing with not using a actual self-watering pot. You kind of have to lift your little pot inside to check and make sure. So that's the first plant. She's looking super cute. I want it to be a little more together, but I guess it's fine. I don't want to damage anything. So cute. Love that. And then what I'm gonna do next is these babies. I know they don't look like much. I feel like I say that all the time. I feel like I say that all the time. I know they don't look like much. But these are, I've been wanting these Pothos and Joys. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Do y'all do Facebook groups, plant groups? Because that's where I got this Pothos and Joy for $5, and she was so nice. She gave me extra cuttings, more than what I paid for, and she gave me a Philodendron Brazil, which I don't have yet. I know it's not like a super rare or uncommon plant at all, but I don't have one. So she gave it to me for free, and I know it's not looking good right now. But listen, these plants have been in the mail for like 5 days in under 20-degree weather, so, and they were looking super wilted before. I put it in water and it plumped right up. Unfortunately, I had to leave it in water a little longer than what I would have liked to. So the aerial root that I did have, which was here, it was much longer, probably almost 2 inches long, but it rotted sitting in the water, which it does happen. That's not unusual, but I didn't want that to happen. I wanted to put it in the pond, but the pond, I had the pond, but the day it came, I just was not in the mood. I was not having a good day. My mic broke, and I was like, it's just not happening today. So that's what happened there. So I'm gonna do this Pothos and Joy, which I'm really excited about. I love the colors, like the white border of the Pothos and Joy. So yeah, if y'all have not ever tried it, really look into Facebook groups in your area, because people, I feel like the sellers are different. You know, they're there, they want to make money, it's their small business, but I feel like you're more likely to get uncommon plants for a really good price. You know, you may not, a lot of sellers on there do sell like super rare plants and all of that, but the prices are the prices, you know, and it is what it is. I get it. But for more uncommon plants that are not necessarily rare, you can get some really good prices, like really good prices, some of which I will be sharing because you know I got me some. I'll share those in my next video. Hopefully, I think it's gonna be my favorites video. I'm gonna try that idea out, but you guys still let me know what you think. And I'll tell you my experience with getting that planned through a Facebook group. But I like them. They have little auctions up there. You can just ask questions about plants. It's just a really nice little plant community, and then you can get plants. And I feel like plant people in general, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I just feel like plant people in general are usually really kind, and they just want to give you things because they know it makes them happy. Like, she did not have to give me extra plants. Like, it was just so nice of her. So that was a really good experience, and I really enjoyed that. And so that's what's happening with this Enjoy. I did take off some of the leaves that were super wilted because they were super wilted, and it wasn't really fitting in the arrangement here. So I took them out. So I don't think I'm not gonna be like transitioning all my plants to pond. Probably only as needed. Like when the plant is ready to be repotted, that's when most likely I will put it in pond. You can for sure, absolutely transfer plants from soil to pond at any time, but you know, to ensure like high success rates, you want it to be, you know, you want to set it up for success. So I don't like to just disturb the roots of the plants just because. So I'm not gonna just change them from soil to pond just because, but once it's ready to be repotted, I kind of want this more central, not so sparse in the middle. And don't ever be afraid to like style your plants and make them look the way you want them to look. Yes, they are alive and they are life, but they bring some decor. And if you want your decor to look a certain way, there is no shame in that. There is no shame in that. So the thing about pond and what makes it so great is that it allows a lot of aeration. It allows a lot of good aeration mixed with moisture. And that's like the big thing with with plants in soil, is always having aeration yet the right amount of moisture. I feel like this might be a little buried. Okay, there we go. I just had to lift it up a little bit. So because of the way this pond is, I don't know if I should say constructed, the way its elements are, it makes for good aeration, but yet it's still gonna hold moisture. So ignore these black leaves. It's okay, okay? It's gonna be okay. It still has a lot of nice green leaves. This is a pothos. She will come through. Look at this beautiful leaf though. So gorgeous. So gorgeous. The last thing I have is that I got what she sent me as an extra gift out of the kindness of her heart. This was a Philodendron Brazil. I know it's not like a super rare, you know, plant or anything, but it was still nice of her to give me a plant for free that I didn't pay for, I didn't ask for. And I don't have a Philodendron Brazil, so it's nice to get a plant that you don't have for free. The leaves look sad, yes they do, but it is okay. It's gonna be okay. And I'm most excited about this one because it's gonna have the biggest like improvement if this plant pulls through. So it's gonna be a nice little experiment to see. So like I said, this was one long stem that she gave me, and what I decided to do was to take the two nodes that had leaves, and I'm gonna pot these in pond. And then I'm gonna take this stem that has these nodes and put it in my prop box. So I have two. Oh, wow. Okay. Doesn't have a leaf anymore. But okay. Why? I think I'm still gonna pot it like that though. I'm still gonna pot it like that. So this is just a old candle holder, whatever you call it, candle jar. And I'm just using it as a reservoir. This is gonna be my big, beautiful Philodendron Brazil. Watch, I'm gonna come back and show y'all. Y'all gonna be like, oh my God, wow, that was her Philodendron Brazil. Yes. So yeah, guys, that is it for my pond experience. Sharing my experience, my thoughts, opinions on pond, hydroponics, semi or full on, with you guys. And as always, I really appreciate all my subscribers, the new ones, the old ones. This is so exciting to see new subscribers, and also you guys commenting on the videos is also exciting because I like coming on and talking to you guys, but just as much I like when you guys talk back and comment to me. It makes it more interesting, more fulfilling, and just more all around enjoyable. So I so appreciate it. And yeah, if you're not already subscribed, subscribe to my channel, join the fam, follow me on Instagram, like this video, whatever you'd like to do is always appreciated. So thank you for watching and have a good day.